picks up win number 3 in 2007.
Pick. 20 years of trying, 20 years of frustration. Dale Earnhardt will come to the caution flag to win the Daytona 500. 3 and 4, make room. Richard Petty and Dale Earnhardt. There's another 7-time champ. Jimmy Johnson wins his 7th NASCAR Sprint Cup championship.
Welcome back to the Slide Job Podcast. I'm your host, Colton Smith, or Left Turn Central. I am here joined by producer Josh Northcutt, who is joining us on vacation. Thank you very much for taking time out of your vacation to hop on the show today. Ben Miller, of course, as always here, the co-host here on Fridays. Not on vacation. It's okay, Ben. I'm not on vacation either. I wish I was on vacation, but yeah. How are you guys doing? Josh, I already know you're having the time of your life from the many appearances you made throughout the week. But Ben, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing good, man. Just nothing new, really. Just been working at the warehouse, just trying to find a different job. Still in contact with Amazon, trying to get that all sorted out. But Colton, what about you, man?
Nothing much. Just been living the life. You know, we had a couple days off, and then had a game yesterday and had today off, and then we're back on the games throughout the next week or so. So just kind of enjoying those couple days off. Got a little extra money, so that was nice. Yeah, Josh, how is the old Cancun down there?
I don't know. I think life's pretty good right now. No, it's fantastic. I'm a little disappointed because I really, really, really did try to talk Jamie into going to Mexico City on Sunday, but we got to go back and pick up the girls, so we can't do that. But I really wanted to go, and more as I experienced Cancun, which I know is not Mexico City, more and more I thought, you know what, I could handle Mexico City.
That's what they all say until they get to Mexico City, but
yeah, but they got to get there first.
They do. It's hard to leave Cancun, I'm sure. But yeah, once again, thanks for joining us. But it's funny that of all weeks for you to go to Cancun, it's the same weekend that we're talking about Mexico. And what has been somewhat of a travel nightmare. That might be a little bit of a clickbait title. There's been some unforeseen issues. We have some people missing practice today, or at least some team members not making it to practice today. We have a couple of planes that have had to turn around, go back to Charlotte. Some teams have had to go to Atlanta in order to make their way down to Mexico. I think all in all, these are just a couple side effects of doing something like this for the first time. I don't think it's time to be all doom and gloom, but it is something to talk about. We have a driver in Denny Hamlin missing that we'll talk about in a little bit too. But before that, I just want to pass it to you guys. Ben, you first. What have you heard, whether on Twitter or anywhere else, in terms of any issues, and what are your thoughts on this kind of ongoing story throughout the week and trying to get NASCAR down in Mexico?
Yeah, so from what I saw, I mean, obviously a lot of teams had traveling issues in North Carolina. One flight had an engine issue. Couple of members from Haas Factory team, they were taking a flight from Atlanta, but yeah, overall, though, it's just crazy that a lot of teams are having trouble getting to Mexico. I mean, in a way, though, it's not really surprising, though, because they're going over the border and, that can cause some trouble sometimes. And, yeah, overall, though, it's just kind of crazy.
Josh?
Yeah, I think you said it perfectly, Colton. I think a lot of it just has to do with it being the first time them doing this. It's a live and learn kind of thing. Nothing like this, especially this big, is going to go off without some trial and error. Hopefully they learn from it. Maybe if they go back to Mexico City, you do it in between. Like when you have that all-star race or the quote-unquote bye week, you put the Mexico race the week after. So then everybody's got like 2 weeks to get there kind of thing. Obviously, you'll still have things like an engine issue you can't plan for. As a person who works in the airline industry, that shit just happens every day.
Mm-hmm.
And it's better than finding it out then than when in the air. And I'll just so.
Yeah, I think that's what Caleb said in the Discord, I believe, or Chenry. He said, this sounds like stuff that mostly isn't simply Mexico or Charlotte or anybody's fault. It's just common stuff that happened to happen this weekend. Of all weekends for it to happen, it's obviously suspect. But yeah, I think nothing out of the ordinary. There's still a lot of weekend left. It's just Friday when we're recording this right now, but I think for now, nothing really completely unexpected has happened. Maybe outside of Denny Hamlin missing the race to be there for the birth of his son. Yes,
Yes.
son. To be there and see that all the way through, missing the weekend. His son was successfully born, and there obviously it's all private, but it doesn't sound like any complications or anything. But being there with his family, that's the important thing, and I am glad that NASCAR let bygones be bygones, because they probably did have some sort of an opportunity to maybe say, here you go, Denny, but they did not do that. And thankfully Denny is able to spend the weekend as stress-free as he can with his newborn child. And so he will be missing the Mexico race, though. And that's something that you didn't necessarily see coming into this, but not really is caused by Mexico inherently. So yeah.
I'll ask both of you guys, since we're going to talk a little bit about Denny, the suspense of will he be or will he not be in the playoffs? Will he be in the playoffs? What are your guys' thoughts on Ryan Truex driving for him? When I don't know, is Corey Heim in the race?
No,
No,
he's not. He's not there. The Truck Series isn't there, so it does make sense as to why Heim isn't the replacement. But I mean, even if the trucks were there, Truex has been on standby for the last 2 to 3 weeks because Hamlin has also been on standby. So I'm assuming Truex is similar to Hamlin's stature, and that does play a role into it. So that is their excuse. However, I don't think Corey Heim is incredibly small or anything like that. So I wouldn't necessarily think he couldn't fit in that car either.
Well, yeah. I got a trivia question for both of you guys. I'm sure Ben knows this because Ben knows it all along. Ryan Truex obviously raced in the Cup Series one year. You all know that. Do you happen to know what his average finish was?
Probably like 32nd.
I would say, probably 32nd, 33rd.
35.6.
He didn't run full time though, right?
I don't know. I couldn't believe that stat when I saw it.
I'm gonna look it up because he definitely ran for like Rick Ware Racing or something. I don't hold that against Ryan Truex.
Actually, it was BK Racing.
Okay, so like a step up from that of good old Rick Ware Racing at the time. So yeah, I think Ryan Truex is a guy, and when he ran in that car, he was like 21, 22. Mm-hmm. So they really need to be in that car at that stage of his career. If you look at his stats in the Xfinity Series since about 2022 when he returned to it part-time, he's consistent. He's got 3 wins in that time frame. He's gotten 6 top 10s out of 11 starts last season. He's only made 1 start this year and finished in the 17th position. But I feel like Ryan Truex is a guy who he's only gotten 1 full-time season in Xfinity Series. He's never had a full-time season in anything other than the Truck Series, and he got 2 full-time seasons in that. So I don't think he's ever gotten a fair chance. And I think if you give him MTJ's development and where he got a lot of seat time and developed over that seat time, I think you have a really different story. So I like him getting this opportunity, and I hope he can make the most of it. I don't think he's an outstanding road course racer, but maybe he proves me wrong in that.
Yeah, I mean, going into this weekend, though, it's going to be a great opportunity for Ryan Truex to get some seat time filling in for Denny Hamlin. I mean, he spent some time with JGR as their reserve simulating driver, and going back to his Xfinity days, though. I mean, he runs really well. I mean, he's won a couple of races. I believe he's won 2 at Dover, and I think this is a great opportunity to see what he can do in Mexico City this weekend. So it'll be fun to see.
Josh, I would add, I found it a very odd inclusion of Anthony Alfredo as the 48's backup driver, which is essentially because he is their simulation driver. But I mean, you got the Junior Motorsports camp there. Xfinity is racing there. Why not? Why not Allgaier, who's run the 48 in the past? Why not some of those other guys? I think it's probably mostly because they don't think they're going to have to worry about Bowman having to go out. I think that's just a precaution. But I still did find that quite interesting.
Yeah, which just to add to that, I'm glad that Bowman looks like he is going to race because, again, every time I see that accident, more and more I go back to his concussion issues. That is a very, very scary hit, and it just shows how far NASCAR has come with safety.
I mean, let's just call it what it is. That was Earnhardt's crash, pretty close to it in terms of angle.
Yep, that's a good point.
And speed. So that is definitely a testament to the safety of the cars nowadays.
I wanted to say they said he hit the wall at 181 or 186.
Yeah, so definitely actually quite a bit slower. I forgot that we have those restrictor plates on or whatever.
But still, that's head on.
Yes.
So props to NASCAR on that because that first time I saw that, I just was like, just not Bowman. Like, you don't see anybody do it, but especially the guy who has worked so hard to come back from his concussions. That's not easy to do as somebody who's had concussions in their life and is not a NASCAR driver. There's things that you deal with on a day-to-day basis that isn't exactly easy to do. So props to NASCAR on the safety.
Yep, absolutely, for sure.
Yep. Hopefully Bowman is able to continue his season and hopefully turn around because that has been a rough couple of weeks for him. But a lot of it has been stuff out of his control. Just being where he was in that wreck, he qualified top 5. Pit crew had a really bad stop, and it put him in the back, put him in position to be stuck behind the talentless Cole Custer, which ended up ruining his day. So hopefully he's all good and he can turn it around. But I think that's all we got really from Mexico. We'll obviously talk about our preview and stuff like that. There has been a lot of talk about it there's a lot of people rooting against it because it's something different. It's change. I'm far from that camp. I think I love that we're going back to some of the older tracks, but I think we do need to try and explore some new markets as well. So I think this is a great opportunity to do that. And I do have an interesting question about it coming up. But first, we have to circle back to earlier this week. Josh, you have gained a lot of fans over the past week.
Fans, huh?
And you can thank the fact that I decided to cut out our little conversation earlier this week, about Kyle Larson and him running in dirt. That sparked up some controversy. I just want to give you a chance. I want to give you that soapbox to respond to these comments. I responded as Left Turn Central to a couple of these, just clarifying that I don't agree with anything Josh said, but I didn't say I saw his point, but I do see his point.
All right, I want you to specifically though read the one comment that we brought up.
Do you want me to just start on that, or do you want me to go through a couple of these?
You can go through all of them, but there's the one I want to respond to. So.
Okay, we'll go through quite a few of these. We have Lost Again 9859. He says dirt racing makes Kyle better. It has also made Chris Bell better since he is sprint car racing finally this year. Chris has 3 wins in Cup. He hasn't done that before this early. Dirt racing and asphalt is for getting there. No shade thrown towards you. That's just his perspective. And Lost Again, I full-heartedly agree with you. You can kind of see Christopher Bell and the uptick in consistency and this season, and he is just so happened to be dirt racing for the first time in his career. So, Josh, what do you have to say to that?
No, I want to keep going.
Oh, just keep going. Okay. All right. Here's a good one. Here's one that might have a reaction for you. Libertarian Man 69 says NASCAR sucks. Dirt is where it's at. He's happy on dirt. He didn't get hurt. Anyway, I would have never said anything bad about Elliott. Y'all don't know what real racing is. To which I replied, whoa, buddy. Watch the y'all. Me and Bull have nothing to do with this take. But Josh.
All right. So he won't say anything. Never did I say NASCAR fans said anything, but there was a Twitter verse, and I believe there was at least 1 or 2 experts or analysts. Now, mind you, how many years ago was this now? Huh?
This is about 2 years in the past now.
So about 2-3 years ago. So forgive me not remembering exactly who said it, but there was multiple people who said when it is your job, you should not be out there doing an extreme sport. At no point again have I said this, but again, all I am stating is that there was a very large portion who cover the sport mentioned that Chase Elliott was doing wrong, and I just didn't understand the difference between snowboarding and racing on dirt. Both of them are risking things. Continue, Colton. Not the one I want to get to.
All right, I got one more before we get to that one. Tristan Labarge, just want to give a huge shout out. A man of culture, a man of many words. You guys suck. Dirt racing for life.
None of us hate dirt racing. I'm not saying like that's not okay.
That's,
I did wrongfully say amateurs.
you
I
did.
will-
You called him amateur.
I did. I did. I wrongfully did that. Could I dirt race? Hell no. I couldn't NASCAR race. I can't sim race. All right. I would be the first to admit that. And I growing up, I loved going to the dirt track. I grew up all around a dirt track, which I know nobody's going to believe is I'm wearing a freaking polo. But I'm just saying, like, I get what dirt track racing means. My favorite driver of all time still talked about till the day he died how much he loved dirt racing, and that was Dale Earnhardt Sr. and racing down on the dirt and coming up from the hard roots of North Carolina. So don't tell me I don't understand where the roots of NASCAR grew up. I've been a fan for my entire life. I had a fallout when Dale died, but that's what every Earnhardt fan did. Colton, get to the guy I really want to address.
I wanted to make sure all your fans got their time in the sun. But here's the best fan of them all. Jeremy7923. What an absolutely arrogant take. Yeah, never mind Kyle's passion and what he wants to do. Let's just worry about what you want. He said fucking seriously, Josh? He said effing. He said effing. I'll just say it for him. Fucking. Seriously, Josh. Your job. I'm sorry, what NASCAR team do you... Or, I read that wrong. Let me rephrase that. I'm sorry, what NASCAR team do you own again? Kyle would never sign a contract like that, and he doesn't have to. More power to him to get to do what he loves. Gotta love fans that think they should be able to dictate drivers' lives.
At no point did I try to dictate a man's life. At no point. All I was stating is that if I was a team who got upset, and there was conversation that they got upset with Chase having that knee injury, why would I let the face of my race team, the face of the sport, what was it, all off season we're talking about how we want Kyle Larson versus Max Verstappen? Was that not the conversation? It wasn't Bubba, it wasn't Bell, it wasn't Hamlin, it wasn't Reddick, it wasn't Elliott, it wasn't Blaney. No, it was everybody wanted Larson versus Max, whether it was on dirt, whether it was in F1, whether it was on sim cars, just to figure out who the best driver in the world was. I'm not going to let that driver risk an injury and then lose him for the rest of the year. That is all I'm saying. I know I don't own a team. If I owned a team, I wouldn't be doing this podcast, no offense. I'm pretty sure we wouldn't be doing this podcast. We would be making a lot more money doing other things instead of sitting at home watching the sport. All I'm saying is that if for some reason Hendrick did do that and said that, I get where he's coming from. Because if you're going to get upset with Chase Elliott, and half the sport is going to attack Chase Elliott for doing something he found fun and entertaining and something he wanted to do, there's no difference of what Kyle is doing. Now, that being said, I did look into it a little bit more, and what Bull said was a little bit right. I want this cut. I don't want Bull to hear I said he was right, but it was right. I get the whole mindset of the practice because we don't get a practice anymore. Shit, the qualifying is even less time, it seems like, nowadays. It's not what it used to be, and it never adapted back after the COVID years of when they were trying to do all those times and spaces and everything else. I remember used to turning on Fox and basically watch almost practice all day.
And it's essentially for no reason outside of NASCAR just doesn't want to facilitate these practices. It saves them I feel like a minute amount of money because you're already renting out the track for that weekend. You're not spending any more money to like. I don't even know if they have to spend money to do that, but there's really no reason for it. There should be at least 1 hour-long practice. But back to you.
But I do want to clarify. I'm not telling a man what he can and can't do. I get it. Kyle fucking loves doing that, and I don't blame him. Honestly, again, dirt track is where NASCAR freaking started. But he is a NASCAR driver. So if his NASCAR team eventually told him, hey, you can't do this anymore, I would understand why.
It's a very good point. You have any commentary on this, Ben?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I would like to. I'm trying to think of it. I mean, yeah, I feel like other drivers they need to start thinking like NASCAR comes first, and they need to put the dirt tracks on hold for a little bit. That's just my opinion sometimes. So, yeah.
And also, Colton, if you remember correctly, I also said he can race dirt. Just don't do it during the season. I get now, mind you, I get it. It's 36 weeks out of the year, 37, 38 with the off days and everything else. So I get that's a long time, but I'm not saying you can't race dirt. Just don't take a chance of injuring yourself. I mean, imagine not having Kyle Larson in the playoffs if you're Hendricks.
I mean, but what's the difference of him injuring himself in the middle of the season and injuring himself 2 weeks before the season? If he ends up missing four to six races to start the year or 4 to 6 races in the middle of the year, I guess to your point, if it happens in the playoffs, that would be really bad. But yeah. I get your guys' points. I just disagree. I think we've gotten to a level in not just NASCAR, but dirt racing as well. I mean, think about how many races Kyle Busch ran in Xfinity and the Truck Series throughout all those years. You can argue that's also like getting in a car and going around at hundreds of miles per hour. I mean, obviously not 200 miles per hour anymore, but you get my point. Going around at that speed, whether it's on dirt, whether it's on pavement, whether it's in the Xfinity Series, Truck Series, ARCA Series, freaking NASCAR Heat 5, I don't know, whatever, you're putting yourself at risk. You're putting yourself at more of a risk running sprint cars, sure, but the reward, honestly, probably outruns the risk. You see the benefits of Christopher Bell getting back into the dirt car throughout the season. So I think that's the side to look at it as well. But we have gone unsurprisingly over our time talking about this, so I think we're ready to move along. I did not make a fly the flag for this week, but I do have one question for each of you, putting you on the spot here. Josh, I'll let you go first, or I can go first if you guys need time to think about it. But what do you think it takes for this weekend at Mexico to be successful for NASCAR? And I can go first if you guys want to think about it for a second. Looks like you guys are thinking, so I will go ahead. For me, it's good ratings. First of all, I think that's one thing because that's what NASCAR wants is good ratings. But I think also we need to sell out. We need to sell out the street race. We need to make an impact on the city of Mexico or Mexico City, and we need it to be impactful because that's what the idea is. We're trying to get our sport to other fans, and I don't know how exactly we're going to metric that. Could be attendance. I don't think that's always the best indicator, but I think that's at least, maybe it's a moral victory, but get the sport out there, get it to Mexico, and I think that will make it a successful weekend.
Yeah, I feel like just getting more fans engaged and just to draw more viewership. I feel like with this Mexico race this weekend, it's going to draw other people's attention, and I feel like that's where I stand on that.
Josh?
Yeah, sell out would be nice, but I don't know if you're going to sell out. Even in the States, do you sell out street races often? Like, was Chicago a sellout?
In theory, it's kind of hard to like even gauge a sellout, I would say. So I that's probably like a silly way, but that's just like obviously a metric that a lot of people use typically.
Is there already a set schedule for next year that says Mexico City's on the calendar?
Not yet, no.
No, I don't think so.
A successful weekend will be knowing that Mexico City is on the calendar next year. Simple as that. I mean, we won't know weeks from now, months from now, whatever. But if they say, "Hey, we're willing to come back and we want to come back," or even Mexico City says, "Hey, we want you back," that's when you'll know it's successful for NASCAR. Viewership obviously will play a toll. It always does. It's what drives the ratings of every sport. However, I guess I would love for the sellout streak to continue. It would be, I think, 3 weeks in a row. But as you mentioned, Colton, we don't really know how to judge that when it comes to a city race.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, it was just kind of a question I kind of popped in my head as we were talking about Mexico. We don't really know. We don't know what exactly NASCAR's metrics, what their goals are, but hopefully it is reached this weekend. Let's go ahead and go to our power rankings. Ben, I'm just going to let you give yours. You guys want to see ours? Go watch the episode on Monday. Ben, who you got in your top 5?
All right, starting off at number 5, I got Christopher Bell. Obviously, it was a tough day in Michigan for that 20 group, finishing 16th. There was a time when he was running second earlier in the race, but then he went back, never recovered. But I feel like this weekend he's going to bounce back in Mexico. We got to remember he won the last road course event at COTA, so I would keep an eye on that 20 car. Number 4, I got Ryan Blaney, 32nd place finish in Michigan. He was running up front earlier, but after that Nashville win, I thought the bad luck was going to stop, but unfortunately it didn't. And I feel like it's going to be really difficult for Blaney to bounce back in Mexico because, just knowing Blaney, he's not really the best road course racer. Number 3, I got Kyle Larson. He got a 5th place finish in Michigan. He hasn't been showing the speed the last few weeks, but continues to get good results. And it'll be interesting to see how he can try to get that flow back in Mexico this weekend, because we all know the type of road course racer he is. Always a threat to win, always running up front. So watch out for that 5 this week. Number 2, I got Denny Hamlin. Obviously coming off his 3rd win of the season at Michigan, tied for the most this season with Kyle Larson and Christopher Bell. Played the fuel mileage race to perfection against Byron. Overall, he continues to bring speed at the track. Always in contention to win these races. Like we mentioned earlier, not racing in Mexico City this weekend as he welcomed his 3rd child this week. So big congrats to the Hamlin family. And topping off my power rankings this week, guys, I got the 24 of William Byron. Led a race high 98 laps in Michigan. Lost the lead to Hamlin with 4 to go. Ran out of gas late, finishing 28th. Another race where he dominates, but he can't seem to get the win. I mean, we saw it at Darlington, Charlotte, and like I mentioned, at Michigan. He should have 4 wins this year. Maybe it's the Daytona 500 curse. I'm not sure. But overall, though, continues to show consistent speed. And we got to watch out for this 24 car in Mexico. He finished runner-up to Christopher Bell back in March. So I feel like that 24 car, they're going to be factors this weekend, so I would keep an eye on them.
Yeah. Very good point there. Like the Power 5. Let's go ahead and move on to the Fast 5, though. I'm going to briefly go through the standings, have those pop up on the screen right now. Ben is, of course, in the lead, but it didn't gain too much. Josh only lost about 2 points on him this week, give or take. But Ben's saving grace was Denny Hamlin. He had him on his team. He picked him to win, got him a nice 50 points. Other than that, Jones and Bell were the only other ones to finish in the top 20. Byron and Hocevar finished 28th, 29th. Josh is just 42 points back of Ben. He picked Brad to win, but did get 4 of the top 10 with Chris Buescher, Ty Gibbs, Ryan Preece, Keselowski. Got the RFK day very well.
I'll tell you what, dude. I was cheering for Hamlin to run out of gas. I was like, "Come on, dude! Just run out of gas." I literally have all of them. Like, it would have been a record-breaking type flip if that would have happened.
Yeah. Shoot, let's not even talk about the flip. And then down in 3rd place, where apparently I belong, Ryan Blaney was my winner. Bubba Wallace and Larson saved me with the 2 top 5 finishes. Chase Elliott, Logano, and Blaney 22nd and 32nd. So, don't know if I'm ever picking Logano again, and maybe never Blaney again. We'll see. Definitely not this week because we're at a road course. So, anyways, let's go ahead and get into this week's picks. And I am actually going to go ahead and relinquish the first pick and select the third overall pick. So Josh,
I'll
you
take the
can
first
either
pick.
Josh will take the first overall pick. Ben will get the second overall pick. Josh, who you taking?
All right, so we did trivia. The last time in Mexico, 2 active drivers. Danny Hamlin, Kyle Busch, both won. They were driving the 20 car. Give me Christopher Bell.
All right.
Nice little fake out there.
All right.
Ben?
So my first pick this week, guys. I mean, obviously this is a driver that I've been really high on going into the 2025 season. Obviously it's been a rough stretch, but I feel like this weekend he's going to flip the page and turn that season around. Give me the 88 of Shane Van Gisbergen.
Wait, I just remembered. I was supposed to pick him first, so Bull can. Oh no! I'm sorry, Bull. Yeah, Ben. If you didn't know, he had a message in last Monday. I forgot to post that separately for you, but yeah, Bull had a message for you. But I was supposed to pick SVG so that
Oh,
he would.
really?
Yeah, it's funny. It was funny. Yeah, it's a good pick, though. I mean, obviously, Shane Van Gisbergen is very talented at road courses. Street courses are also in his wheelhouse, especially he has more experience than anybody else in the field at street courses. So that's a great pick. I'm going to go with the oh, sorry. Go ahead if you have more.
Oh, no, you're good. I wanted to point out he was top 10 in both practice sessions today. So showing speed.
All right. Well, I'm going to go with the other 2 best road course racers in the next gen era, and I'm going to take Chris Buescher for sure. Pretty confident he'll get me a good finish, and then I will also take that of maybe I won't take the 3rd best. I'll take the 4th best. No, let's just go with Chase Elliott. I pick him every damn week. Go ahead and put Chase Elliott on my team. He'll at least give me a 15th place finish. That's almost for certain. So. Yeah, Chase Elliott, Chris Buescher, give me the number 1 and number 3 on the average finish.
All right.
Back to you, Ben.
All right. So my second pick this week, I'm going with the 8 car of Kyle Busch.
Son of a.
That's who I thought you were going for. So I thought he was going at the first pick. I'm like, huh.
Yeah. But all fairness, though, I feel like we need to keep an eye on Kyle Busch this weekend. Last time when we were in COTA, he dominated the race. Unfortunately, didn't get the win. So I'm curious to see what that 8 car, what kind of speed that 8 car brings this week. So I'm keeping an eye on that 8 car.
Josh?
Yeah, I'm playing the street average game here, gentlemen. That's why I wanted Kyle Busch, because he's one of 3 drivers who have finished in the top 10 in both Chicago street races. However, I'll go ahead and take Michael McDowell. Very good road racer. Probably could have got him maybe a little bit later on, but wanted to make sure I get him. And then I'm going to take the winner of the race. I'm going to take Ty Gibbs. Why? Because Colton hates it.
Hey, I haven't said anything this week. Haven't said anything.
Yeah. All right.
Back to you, Ben.
All right. Let me look at this list real quick, guys.
No problem.
Let's see here. I'm going with the 16 of AJ Allmendinger. I mean, obviously, he's another great road course racer. I feel like we're going to see that 16 car up front, and he comes into this race just below the bubble, sitting in 19th. So I feel like he's going to be one of those drivers to try to get their first win of the season. So I would keep an eye on that 16 car. And do I get another?
No, it's my turn. I just realized I've been talking through my webcam this entire time, so my audio's probably been shot. It's okay. It's not terrible, but I just prefer my mic. The way I found out is I looked down at my microphone and saw that it was muted because I muted it to type. And I was like, wait, have I been talking this whole time muted? No, because I've been responding. Anyways, that doesn't matter. It was just a funny little thing that happened. Anyways. Who did you just pick? I was kind of spaced out because of that. Allmendinger?
Allmendinger.
Yeah, Allmendinger.
Okay. Byron's still on the board, so I'm going to just take him based off of consistency throughout the year this year. And then I'm going to go ahead and take a complete gamble. Chennery's going to hate me for this one, but Alex Bowman, He has shown speed on the Chicago street course. I'm hoping he's able to keep that up. He's also been really good at the road courses. That was one of his greatest weaknesses coming into his time at Hendrick, and he worked really hard on getting that fixed. So I'm hoping he's able to get his name back on the list here and find his way into a solid finish.
I'm gonna say I was debating Bowman on that last wrap around, but I was just gonna go with, like I said, that driver average ranking. It's hard to doubt McDowell and Ty Gibbs. So
Yep.
I like that Bowman pick, though. I hope he wins. I'll have a little bit of money on him. So
All right. My next pick, I'm going with the 45 of Tyler Reddick.
you're a piece of
You let Tyler Reddick go this far. He was the fourth best average driver finish.
I don't have the driver's average here in front of me, Dick.
But yeah, obviously, when you go to a road course, you obviously cannot ignore Tyler Reddick. I mean, this guy is a road course ace. Excuse me. Always up front, always consistent, always a threat to win, and obviously, it's been a rough year for 23XI with the lawsuit going on with Front Row Motorsports and against NASCAR. So I kind of look for that 45 to try to flip the page and see if they can hit the reset button. So yeah, I would keep an eye on the 45 this week. And I get one more, right?
No, back to Josh.
After me. I go first. Damn you, Ben. Oh my God, I hate you. All right. Give me 1 second. That threw me off. I was
All good. Just let me clarify what y'all got. Josh, you took Bell. You took Allmendinger, right?
No, I took Allmendinger.
You took Allmendinger. Okay, so you have SVG, you have Allmendinger, you have Reddick, and then you have a fourth. Who's the other one?
Kyle Busch.
Of course, KFB. And so then Josh has the 20, and you have them written down, don't you, Ben?
Yeah, I do.
Gibbs and McDowell.
Oh,
Yeah,
gives you
Josh.
down.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So Josh, do you have your next selection?
Yeah, I'm just gonna throw one at the wall. I don't even know if it's a good one. I'm just gonna go off. Give me Carson Hocevar. He's been running up there a little bit. I have no other explanation besides obviously he's due for a win. Who knows? Maybe he can do it here. Probably not, but we'll see. But number 5, I've got to do it. It's Mexico. It's Daniel Suarez.
All right.
Great pick.
All right. My fifth and final pick this week, guys. Looking down this list here real quick. I think I am going to go with the 2-car of Austin Cindric.
That's who would have been better.
That's a good pick. That's a good pick.
I mean, even though Team Penske, they haven't been the best on road courses, but just watching practice today, Cindric, he showed great speed. I believe he was top 10. Yeah, he was top 10 in both practice sessions. So, yeah, I'm curious to see what that 2-car can do this weekend.
So that leaves it to me, who has been going around on this. I think I'm just going to keep it. Yeah, we'll go ahead and rock with Ross Chastain, Daniel Suarez's teammate. He's going to get some info from Suarez, and he's been better than Suarez at the road courses pretty much throughout the next-gen era. So, yeah, Chastain's been the best guy there. If Suarez is going to have a good day, I expect Chastain to have a good day as well. So I'll have him round out my squad here. So in recap, Josh has Bell, Gibbs, McDowell, Hocevar, and who's your fifth?
Suarez.
Suarez, duh. And then Ben's got the 88 of SVG, 16 of Allmendinger, 45 of Reddick, 8 of Kyle Busch. Myself, I have Buescher, Elliott, Bowman. Shit, who else did I take? I didn't write it down. I know I got Bowman.
Elliott, Bowman, Buescher.
Did I only take one?
Busher, Elliott, Byron, Bowman, and Chastain.
Byron, of course, Byron. I'm not used to having Byron. Byron and then Chastain. So that leaves us with our winner picks. I'll go ahead and let Ben go because he had the first. Right, Josh. Josh had the first pick. Josh, you go.
Well, I already know who Ben's going to take, but I'm not going to take him. I'm going to go ahead and hope it gets it done. I'm telling you right now, Ty Gibbs gets victory lane in Mexico City. I can make Ben's pick for him if he wants. I already know who he's going to take. The guy
let him take him. Let him take him.
All right. So, I mean, Josh, you're right. I'm going with him. It's SVG.
Yeah, no shit.
Say it out loud. Say it with your chest. Say it with your chest.
SVG.
All right. I'm also going SVG
You both suck.
because I feel bad that I didn't pick him first because that was the prophecy that Bull laid upon me. I did not. It's okay though because if I pick him to win, it'll jinx him or I'll match Ben. So I'm happy. Yeah, give me SVG to win this race. So SVG and Ty Gibbs, those were the winner picks. We don't really know what to expect from this race. There's nothing to go off of in the past. Some of the street courses, but to be fair, this is going to race different than Chicago. So I don't know if there's much of a preview we got. We went over. We're at 40. So if there's just anything you guys want to get out before we wrap up this show, you go right ahead, starting with Josh.
I'm just kind of looking forward to it. I know I'm one of the biggest advocates that I hate road racing. But I'm interested to see the speed and the difference, and hopefully they can pass. I don't know if either one of you watched practice and saw if they're able to pass at this race, because I know a lot of times with these kind of things, it's a little bit harder. So hopefully we'll have some good racing and SVG won't win, but more have like it be a second race and somehow his engine blows and he's just back in 40th. That would be glorious.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll tell you what, I am pulling for Daniel Suarez. I would love Daniel Suarez to win.
Yes,
yeah, it would
sir.
be nice to see. Yeah, it would be nice to see him win in his home country. I mean, I feel like that would be so cool to for the Mexico fans to see that. So that'd be really cool. But overall, when you look at the race, though, I think it's going to be a great show. I mean, I'm curious to see how the restarts will be. Like Josh mentioned, if they can pass, so that'll be interesting. And also, I'm keeping an eye on these drivers below the cut line, like I mentioned, AJ Allmendinger, SVG, two road course guys that know how to get it done. And yeah, overall though, I just have a feeling though we're gonna see a driver get their first win of the year, and yeah, it's gonna be a great show for sure, and looking forward to it.
Ben, that's a great point, and I didn't even think about like SVG could easily steal a playoff spot this weekend.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean,
we're talking about a 2-spot open, only 1 spot open for some really talented drivers down there.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, now that we're getting closer to summer, though, everybody's already talking about playoff talks. So, yeah, it's just I just feel like this weekend, those drivers, they're going to lay it out on the line and do whatever they can to try to get that win and lock themselves into a playoff spot. Because when you go to a road course, though, it's a wild card. Like, you got to expect the unexpected, and a lot of things can happen. So, yeah, it's definitely going to be fun.
All right. Well, you guys said everything that I could ever say about this Mexico race. I am excited. I will be working, I think, through most of it, but it's an earlier game, so maybe I'll get to catch the tail end, or I'll just watch it from start to finish like I did with the Coke 600. Yeah, I'm excited. Super excited for this, and I hope everything goes well. Hopefully, my boy Chase maybe just gets that road course win. He looked bad fast at Coda. That's all I'm saying. Guy can hope.
What could have been in Coda?
And I picked Ross, too. Of all weeks for me to pick Ross, it's at a road course.
Yeah.
Man, I forgot about how rough that race was. Anyways, let's go ahead and wrap up this show. Thank you all for listening. Be sure to hit the subscribe button if you did enjoy, or if Josh pissed you off. I should mention that now because he's starting to do that a lot more. So if you like this video, or if Josh pissed you off, hit the subscribe button.
And let me hear it again. I will gladly address all comments down below. Tell me where I'm wrong, because I'm sure everybody's going to tell me I don't know NASCAR either because I didn't take SVG. But screw it, I'm Team Bull here. Fire SVG at the end of the year.
No. Watch your mouth.
All right. Well,
He's not
comment
going
down
anywhere.
below anything Josh said that pissed you off, and we'll address it on the next episode and the next episode and the next episode. Be sure to follow us on Twitter, X. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on, God, there's so many now. TikTok, Facebook. We're on everything now. I need to write down the list on the rundown. I'm still going through that process as we've opened up those. We had a really funny TikTok with Josh actually just posted today. So be sure to go check out all of those platforms as we're looking to branch out onto all of those. But be sure to follow us personally on Twitter, me at LFC__99, Josh at JNorth1989, and Ben at Ben Miller PXP. Thank you all for coming on, especially Josh during your vacation. I know that is it's easier. It sounds easier than it really is to take a break from the beautiful, beautiful shores of Cancun as he looks out at them. So once again, thank you, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.